On the diamond where they play, sweeping competition every day, rounding bases, stealing dreams, ain't no stopping college teams. Let's fucking go.
Terry,
What is
how
up?
are you? How are you doing on this Sunday evening?
Man, I've been trying to keep cool all week. This is like record highs this past week in San Angelo, like 98, 100 degrees, which is unheard of for mid March over here.
It was 82 here where I live today in southern Middle Tennessee.
I would take that over this.
Great day for baseball with that kind of weather. Good Lord. My messages are blowing up right now. so
Excuse me.
so what have you been doing this week?
We have a road closure project on the base. So we're doing full depth repairs in the concrete, and there's absolutely no shade. And when the sun's hitting the concrete, you almost feel like a burger patty on a griddle.
Yeah,
So we're
I
clearing
can
that
imagine
out.
that.
Yeah, we're clearing that out. Um, we're also going back forward with that fence job that has to be fixed, and it's like it's just not a good time. It's like all this stuff's going on, and it's like the hottest time for this month for some crazy reason.
I feel you. I feel you. So you work outdoors, right?
Yes,
So I got to ask, have you been using the Chinook seeds in your outdoor presence in the heat?
I have not yet. I haven't seen them around here, to be honest with you. Maybe I
Oh,
have to check the Walmart, but I know like our commissary because our job is right next to the commissary in the BX, and I have yet to see them there.
so you're going to have to go online at chinookseedery.com and order you some and
Are
have them sent
they?
in.
Does Walmart have them by chance too?
They may have some, I'm not sure, but you can go online and you can order them and use the promo code Golden Broom and get
Hmm.
10% off of your purchase.
Which flavors have you tried already?
I've tried them all. They're all fantastic.
Because I've always been kind of a fan of was it cracked black pepper?
Yeah, they have the well, let me pull up my box here and tell you what I got. You hear all kinds of noise now, but I got my box. Got my hard hat. There's going to be some construction going on with Vanderbilt baseball if you listen to me. But we have Smokehouse Barbecue. We have Cinnamon Toast. We have Lemon Pepper.
That one sounds pretty good.
Hatch Chili.
Mm, that's that flavor's usually pretty popular out here. Anything hatch chili.
Jalapeno Ranch. There's a little bit of everything in this box. Here's another good one. Parmesan and pepper.
Hmm.
Mm, good flavors, and they're all excellent. Some
I'll
of
have
my favorite stuff.
to keep an eye on. I know dill pickle's usually a good one, no matter which brand it is. It seems like.
Yes, sir. Like I said, go on their website, chinookseedery.com, and use the promo code Golden Broom and get 10% off. Oh, and look at that. We got a comment. Sports Bite Podcast. Good to have you in there with us, Chris. That was a great win for Oklahoma in the box at LSU this weekend. Thanks for chiming in, sir.
Was that?
So,
I assume that's baseball because I know baseball and softball are on at the same time. So
yeah, that's baseball.
that's why Cody didn't show up. He's too ashamed.
Too ashamed that they lost the series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in pretty bad shape, too.
I'm surprised we're
Actually,
doing as good as we are right now. I'm very excited.
LSU and Vanderbilt are tied in the Southeastern Conference at 2-4
Oof.
in conference play, but Vanderbilt gets to be listed ahead of LSU because we took 2 out of 3 against them.
Dang.
It's
Was that in
not
Baton
been a
Rouge or
good.
Nashville?
That was in Nashville.
Now, Since like last year I was fairly casual, and I've been getting more more involved with it. Do they play every team in the conference, but they do a home and home series? Like they'll play, like say LSU travels to Nashville, then later on in the season, vice versa, or is it a
We
one
do
time?
not. We do not do home and homes.
Not in the same season.
Not in the same season. So the way it works out, we play 30 games. So you're playing 10 out of the 16 teams in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So you play 10 teams, 3-game series once a year.
So it's almost like it's pretty much like football then.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Like they don't play every team, but then they'll play that team's home, and then maybe the next year that team travels to the
Yeah.
team's home stadium. Okay.
Yeah. That'll be a fun series to watch, Chris. Oklahoma at Texas. Texas got the huge series win. I believe I need to double check that before I misspeak. I believe they got the huge series win at Auburn this weekend.
For Kenny.
I'm pretty sure they did. I know they won. I know Texas won today. I think they won last night too. Yes, they did win last night 7-6. They won today 5-0. They got that. That's a big series win.
Yeah, I remember.
And then
Auburn's number 4, right?
yes, sir. Texas.
So, yeah.
Both of them top 5 in the country, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Got John Toth watching from Sports Bible Podcast and Sports Bible Sports.
And they shut
Great
out
to have
Auburn
him
too.
with us. Yes, 5-0 today. So, a lot of interesting things.
Yes,
So,
it is.
so what do you want to start off with today? Do you want to start off with that little video highlight I've got?
I'd say save that one later. Like, maybe get one of the talking points out of the way, and then probably show that
Okay.
right after.
Okay, we can do this. So Terry's relatively new to the whole Golden Broom podcast thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this in here too. That is a great question. Right now, the interim coach is Monty Lee. I haven't heard the details if Paul Maneri was fired or if he if it was a mutual agreement for him to go back into retirement. He was dismissed as the head coach at South Carolina this weekend, and rightfully so. What happened on Friday night is just inexcusable. Getting beat 22-4 in your own house. You have a midweek game where you have less than 500 fans show up. Things were not going good at South Carolina at all. At all. I think the game has kind of passed Paul Maneri by. With him being out now, Monty Lee is the interim coach. He's the former Clemson coach that was fired a few years back. And that leaves Dave Van Horn at Arkansas as the career active, the winningest active career. How am I trying to say this? The winningest active coach in college baseball is Dave Van Horn.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe only Dave Van Horn and Tim Corbin, maybe possibly Kevin O'Sullivan might have 1,000 wins now, but I'm not sure. But I know for sure that Van Horn and Corbin do. So, interesting developments over the weekend. I think Kevin Snall is probably the shoe-in to be the permanent head coach. I don't think it'll happen till after the season, though. But right now, Monty Lee is that guy. So, but as I was getting to, we like to give out awards in my college baseball group. It's called College Baseball Smack. If you're a fan of college baseball, jump in there and join it. We'd love to have you. But we give out weekly awards, and that, well, We do give out weekly awards, the Golden Broom and the Dirty Jock Strap. We'll get to those later, but we also give out 2 awards for win streaks. One of them is called a heat streak. If a team wins 12 consecutive games, we put everybody on notice, create a little graphic for them. It's called a heat streak. If they win 20 consecutive games, which is a little bit harder, they get what we call a flame award because they are on fire to win 20 straight games. So we've had a few teams come up with heat streaks in the last couple weeks. Love to share them with you right now. Terry's proud of this one. The UCLA Bruins, they're up to 15 now with their win today. That's 15 straight for UCLA.
Keep going, guys.
As of yesterday, Southeast Missouri, SEMO, the Red Hawks with 12 straight wins. And then...
Are they Division 1 or 2?
They are Division 1.
Are they? Okay.
Yes. And then on Friday night, Auburn hit 12 straight wins. But now...
Back on the ice.
I think we have to mention what happens when you are presented with a heat streak, Terry.
There's a jinx involved usually.
No, not a jinx. Surely not a jinx.
Well, not all cases.
I
We're too
mean,
above it right now.
this is true. You current have gone past that, and SEMO has currently gone past that as well. They're up to 13. They won again today. So that might be, you guys might be setting new ground here and breaking the jinx.
Hopefully. I mean, I would like to see him go up to. You know what? I won't even say it. We already know the next level, so I won't even say it. I want to jinx it. I'm just wondering if a certain person who is rooting for Auburn is going to show up in the comments tonight.
If he doesn't show up in comments,
We'll get him in the
we
chat.
have a chat. We have a chat that we can call him out in, as long as he don't disappear again.
Got a
So,
tracker on him this time.
one of the other things we wanted to bring up, and I think it's a fair discussion to have at this point in time, if I can find it. Let's pull this graphic up, right? So Terry, I'm going to let you explain who these 3 schools are.
Well, going from left to right, we have the South Carolina Gamecocks. We have the University of California, Irvine, and the Fresno State Bulldogs. I think for Irvine, if I'm not mistaken, they're called the Anteaters.
Yes, sir. I love
Okay.
that name.
I know. I mean, like I said, I'm fairly new to the college baseball as far as paying attention, but I know you would always see these guys in the mix going into Omaha, especially Irvine. Irvine has always had like a really good team, but it's just they're all 3 finally hitting some struggles, and they got to figure a way to bounce back. I mean, I haven't been keeping up too much with them as far as what their reasoning is. It seems like South Carolina's would be the coaching. I know some people are happy he got fired. Maybe this will kind of motivate, because maybe it's one of those scenarios where the players gave up on the coach. Because, I mean, if the coach doesn't want to change or evolve to the game, match up to the speed of the game to keep up with everybody else, you're going to lose your crew, basically. So it seems like maybe this is the spark. Maybe South Carolina needs to get back in it. I honestly couldn't tell you the struggles with Irvine or Fresno State, if you want to take those two, from what you've observed.
So UIC was, even just a year or two ago, was a solid program, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gave everybody fits. Good hitting team a couple of years ago, but all of a sudden these three schools just aren't doing what their programs historically have done. And you have to wonder, what do they have to do to get back to where they're accustomed to being, which is in the mix to go to Omaha every year.
You think NIL has something to do with it for those two?
It could.
Especially Irvine.
It could, but even in the NIL era, UIC has been in the NCAA postseason and had opportunities to make some noise.
Because I know their football ain't that great over there. Fresno State, on the other hand, is a different story in comparison to Irvine. But
yes,
I would say they're probably going to have to drop more money into the baseball program to kind of get it back up to compete with these even bigger schools. Even though they have, like you said, it's a top program for baseball. Unfortunately for them, it's only baseball really worth going to that school for. And whatever my niece is going there for her degree in.
And we could have added another one to this graphic. Long Beach State, the Dirtbags. They have fallen on some hard times as well.
And Cal State Fullerton.
That's another one. Cal State Fullerton.
The Titans.
These are teams
called them the Dirtbags, if I'm not mistaken.
No, the Dirtbags is Long Beach State, and Cal State Fullerton is the Titans.
Yeah. Because I think what the story was with Long Beach, their whole infield was dirt. There was like no grass.
Yes, it was. So it was something I thought would be a good discussion point, to see what these schools, if people would chime in and give us their thoughts on what these schools need to do. I don't know if you make coaching changes. It just, Fresno State's a hard case because their league is so competitive most years. I mean, you got teams like Cal Poly. They've won 10 games in a row this year that are up-and-coming programs that are, it's not just UIC and Fresno State out west anymore. You got these other programs that are seriously moving up. UC Santa Barbara is another one. They've become a force every year. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think making a change at South Carolina head coach with Paul Mainieri being out. One of the things I mentioned in the chats on Saturday was they had to show some life, right? After seeing what happened on Wednesday night, that looked like a team that had quit. And then to follow that up on Friday night, getting beat 22-4, something had to be done. Yeah. And they made the move. Mainieri's out. And on Saturday, lo and behold, they responded. They had a 2-1 lead going into the ninth. Unfortunately, a throwing error allowed Arkansas to tie the game. And then today, South Carolina gets the win. So they were literally one throwing error away from winning the series against Arkansas with a team that looked like it had quit.
But, even like you say that, they lost by a throwing error, but they're probably looking at that like, you know what? They're still against the number 4 team in the nation.
Yeah.
That's the motivation they need, and they showed that today by winning 9-4 against Arkansas.
So I thought it was an interesting discussion. We do have another interesting discussion coming up. This one's going to be more entailed with a couple of legendary guys. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But saw a highlight today while I was checking up on college baseball on Twitter, and I found a highlight. And I'm going to play it for everybody because I want everybody to chime in. Chris, John, whoever else is watching. I want to get you all's opinions on this and tell me what you think. Is this a fair game play, or would you call this dirty?
The 3-2 home. Swung on. Tapped on the ground. First base side. Hammond picks it up. Tags the runner out at first of Luke Walton. Luke Walton gets up as there was almost a shove. And a brawl is going to start outside. Benches are going to empty as Nathan Ball didn't like what Luke Walton said. So the benches are going to empty. Both teams in it. Luke Walton was right there. And Hammond applied the tag. And Walton kind of got like flipped over a little bit. But that's going to be an out either way.
So
there was some there was some intention with that
very
shove.
aggressive.
That's a
Yes.
two-handed shove.
that was a two-handed shove. And here's my thing. In doing my research on that pitcher in 2026 has a 7.30 ERA. And for his career, he's got a 9.34 ERA. So if you're that pitcher and you have that kind of ERA, you have no business treating anybody like that at all. But yes, I agree. I think that was very aggressive.
That wasn't a small guy either. I mean, look at
No,
the size
that
of
was
that
a-
guy.
That was a big dude. He had to shove him hard because that was a big dude running down that line.
I mean, it's obvious the dude wasn't expecting that shove. The way he went, as big as he is, the way he went down, it's like, okay, he's probably thinking, what the hell? That's
Yeah.
why he got up real quick.
That's some
So
stuff
I
you
think the
expect to
pitcher,
see in
he's
the
battling
SEC,
some
right?
stuff himself with that horrible ERA average and wondering he's probably got to think of a plan B at this point because he's probably not going to have much of a future, especially with that kind of play
Right,
in the sport.
right. Let's see. Let me do something real quick here. I think this is the one. I'm adding a couple other videos here. So I think this is the video I think it is.
Bases loaded, one out. Tigers down two. Bristol Carter, hot shot into center. Scores one against
got to his legs.
Runners on the move. Pitch well around the score. Tigers win. Tigers walk it off in the ninth. 3 runs in the ninth. Tigers win by 1.
All
That
you had to
was-
do is catch it.
All he had to do is pick up the ground ball and get it back in. You go from up 3-1 to losing 4-3 on an error.
Yeah.
That's got to be a brutal way to lose.
I mean, there could have been a good chance they would have tied it. Let's say if he did field it, but there probably would have been a close play at the plate. We'll never know. But I mean, the way that went down, that guy probably felt like the smallest person in the world, unfortunately. And the game like that.
And then I mentioned the play with Arkansas yesterday, South Carolina and Arkansas. This is a brutal way to give up a lead, and then they lost it in extra innings. But this is a brutal way for a team that was hungry for a win.
Grounded to short. Scobie. The throw offline. The run scores. We're tied.
Just brutal.
It looked like he had plenty of time. Like he didn't need to rush that. It felt like he
Had-
rushed that one.
Had plenty of time and just jerked it.
That was with 2 outs.
Yes. you got to feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Your coach is fired. You got beat 22-4 the night before, and that happens. It can kind of make you start questioning things of what is my life really doing?
Yeah. I mean, it can't be as bad as I don't know if you feel as bad as the center fielder from Texas there. Because I mean, they had a
if you-
2-run lead.
If you're that hungry for a win, you know, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Speaking of brutal, that was a brutal. We'll talk about the college basketball tournament here in a little bit, but our focus is on college baseball. If you want to, we can. I can pull up some scores and share them if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Go over the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get these pulled up here, and I'll share the screen. So I don't know what scoreboard everybody else uses. To me, D1 Baseball's got the best college baseball scoreboard out there. It's very clean, it's very organized, and easy to read. So let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. And we'll go over some scores. I don't know if you can see that very well, Terry, or not.
Yeah, I see it good.
But in the top 25, number 22, Missouri, Tennessee beats Missouri today 7-1. They win the series 2-1. They lost on Friday night and came back to win yesterday and today. Number 9, Virginia. Run rules. Wake Forest today. They win the series 2-1. And Florida State run rules North Carolina State today 15-5. They also win the series 2-1. I'll let you go with the next row, Terry.
Set. All right, we got Louisville losing to North Carolina, losing the series 2-1 there. Coastal Carolina looks like they run rolled James Madison, and they swept that series. Alabama, this was the surprising one, sweeping the series against Florida. I don't think many people saw that coming. But then that was one of the issues, none of our talking point for later on, as we'll discuss. You got this next row then?
Yes. Number 19, Clemson traveled to Notre Dame this weekend. Notre Dame wins today 7-4. They win the series 3-0. That was a little bit of a surprise. Georgia Tech traveled to Pittsburgh. Georgia Tech, the number 1 hitting team in the country, they win 12-4 today and win the series 2-1. And as we've already talked about, Arkansas at South Carolina. South Carolina gets the win today, 9-4. Arkansas wins the series.
Next here we have Mississippi State run ruling Vanderbilt, completing the series sweep there. We have Southern Miss beating Troy 5-4, taking the series 2 games out of 3. Texas State, this is a little shocker probably to most, is completing a sweep and run ruling Louisiana, number 25.
And then number 2, Texas at number 5, Auburn. We saw the highlight from Friday night. Auburn won that first game. Texas won yesterday 7-6. They won today 5-0. They win the series on the road at Auburn 2-1. Northwestern pulls a shocker today. They beat number 21 Oregon 11-10. Oregon wins that series 2-1. Something interesting about Northwestern. USC had a 19-0 start to the season. Northwestern handed them their first loss. And then we got Maryland at number 1, UCLA. UCLA, that's an incredible team out there. They're 21-2. They're 9-0 in the Big Ten. They win the series 3-0.
All right, next line here we got. I don't see a series on that one, but that's right because Oregon State's not really in the conference. We got Oregon State beating UC Irvine 9-5. We unfortunately have USC ruling Washington, completing the sweep there. Can't wait to play them. That should be a good series. And we have Texas A&M ruling Georgia 18-5. However, Georgia wins that series 2-1.
A lot of good series in the top 25 this weekend. The biggest one being Texas and Auburn. I imagine they simply swap places, I would say, in the rankings. I wouldn't drop Auburn too far. James Tucker, good to see you, sir. Long time no see. Texas is really good. I don't think they're as good as UCLA, but I think Texas is definitely going to be in the mix when it comes to Omaha. That's a really good team. But I also expected LSU to be in that mix. And somehow
They're not even ranked anymore, right?
or LSU is just, yeah, LSU's not even ranked anymore. They're struggling bad. So I could be wrong. I think Texas is a team that's going to be dealt with. And, but I also thought LSU would be a team to be dealt with because they returned 75% of their team from last year. So it's going to be fun to watch it. They do have a tough schedule, but beyond that, I don't know many teams that are going to win series against Texas. They do have a shortstop that's playing a little bit banged up right now. When he swings his bat, you can tell his hand is hurting him pretty bad, but it doesn't affect his fielding. So kind of a weird situation going on with him there.
That's fun. We actually got a transfer from Texas at UCLA, Gasparino. I guess he wasn't doing that well in Texas, and he came over to us and just kind of revived his career, it seemed like, because he's doing really well for us. He's getting on base quite a bit. And
he was good at Texas, too. He just wanted to change the scenery.
Yeah. Well, they made it sound like he was struggling. Like, I don't know. Well, what he was struggling in, but I mean, heck, it's worked out for us. So I'm glad we got him on the squad.
Yeah, he's a good one to have. So we wanted to have a discussion about two coaches that are going to be in the Hall of Fame. They're legendary guys that have won big at their current locations. So let's go ahead and bring this up and talk about it. Is it time for Tim Corbin and Kevin O'Sullivan to retire and let their college programs reset and move forward in the new era of NIL? It's a loaded question.
The answer I could give would be just very generalized, and I can give you some MLB examples of, coaches. I think when you get to a point to where, as we discussed earlier before the show started, that if the game's passed them by, they should. I mean, I don't think they need to really prove anything else anymore. I think they proved a lot. Their numbers should prove that for them. But like the example I want to bring up was when we know legendary MLB coach Joe Torre from the Yankees, when he made the coaching change and when he went to LA, he didn't really do anything with it. It's like his time was done. And, at that time, of course, Yankees always had a stacked squad during those years. And go to LA and they think like, well, maybe they'll get the same success as the Yankees did, but obviously that wasn't the case. So these guys, I mean, I would say if it's time to just hang them up, you've got nothing else to prove. You've done everything you could for your respected teams, and it showed. And I guess just enjoy retirement and let the teams go in a new direction.
It's been hard for me with Tim Corbin because I've always said he's still got it. He's won that SEC tournament 2 out of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and got the number 1 overall seed last year. But every player that he's brought in from the transfer portal hasn't panned out. And it makes you wonder, is his talent evaluations not good? What's going on there? A lot of fans want to say he doesn't play the portal, but half of our starting lineup is from the transfer portal. So the idea that he's not playing the portal isn't true, but everybody he's getting has been a bust.
Now, let me ask you with that one. Does he have a heavy hand on that, or like is it basically his final decision, or does he have someone to kind of do like more in-depth scouting while he focuses more on coaching? Or if they don't, is that something they should do if he were to decide to stay?
I believe he's got a pretty heavy hand in who they get in the portal. He's always been one that if the player doesn't have any character, he's not going to let him come to Vanderbilt, that kind of thing. It's a tough situation because there's only 2 active coaches in college baseball that have won 2 College World Series, and that's Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt and Jay Johnson at LSU. Kevin O'Sullivan, he's been to Omaha 9 out of 18 seasons at Florida. I mean, these guys are legendary coaches.
Yeah.
And it's hard for guys like that to step away from what they built. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, like you're saying, like it's probably going to be all they really had, and they don't know nothing else. And it'd be one of those things like you would see, like not long after they retired, they're no longer with us because they probably felt like they didn't have any purpose, and they just kind of. I mean, I don't want to see something like that happen, but some people just feel like that's all they got, and I mean, who knows what's going through their heads right now.
Obviously, Tim Corbin can't be happy. We see today that image of Kevin Sullivan is from today. Obviously, he's not enjoying life at Florida right now.
No.
And we also know that he's had some off-the-field issues over the last 12 to 18 months that have affected things. So I feel like it's a fair question to ask. Is it time for these guys to step away?
For both, I'd say probably yeah.
And you look at it. You look at a guy like Corbin. Vanderbilt is 13-9 right now. It's their worst start since 2012, 2010, 2012, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's getting any better. They got run ruled today. They weren't competitive yesterday. And the problem is they've had so many injuries this year to their pitching. They've only got 10 active pitchers on the roster. And it's just something you can't do. You cannot compete in the SEC with only 10 pitchers.
What they start out with at the beginning of the season before all the injuries?
About 15. We've got one of our starters is out, Austin Nye, and 4 relievers. are
Is
out.
it out for the season, or are any of them expected to return soon?
He says they're all close to coming back, but he's been saying that for 4 weeks. So if they're close to coming back, what's the story on them? Where are they at? Why ain't they back yet?
Like, give us specific numbers, not just word of mouth.
Right. So, Austin Nye, he's probably, if he's healthy enough when he comes back, probably going to be moved into the Friday night starter role.
Now, for Corbin, let's say if him and the school were to agree to mutually part ways, or not necessarily part ways, maybe him step down from the coaching, but however he takes a position maybe a little higher up within the sporting within Vanderbilt sports in general. I'm not saying like AD or anything that high, but where he could still be like an advisor role of some sort, maybe geared more towards baseball, and then that way he doesn't have the stretch of coaching. Let a fresh new guy with a whole new energy come in and pick his brain.
I think that would be a perfect scenario. I really do. But then the question is, where do you look for a new coach? Because that's some big shoes to fill. I mean, we know that there are coaches out there. USC's head coach, Trent Jewett, he coached at Vanderbilt for a while. Eric Bakich at Clemson coached at Vanderbilt for a while. The head coach at Oklahoma State played at Vanderbilt, Coach Holliday. There's options on the table, but where do you go?
If you're talking about going a whole new direction, I would say maybe someone who's not affiliated with the school.
That would be interesting. Could we really make Tennessee Volunteer fans angry and go after a guy like Tony Vitello?
I would.
I mean,
or if you pay the guy enough, you could piss off a certain person's first name starts with a K, ends with an N-E. Get Auburn's coach.
I mean, go get Butch Thompson. I mean, I'm down with that.
Just stay away from ours.
But yeah, I thought it would be an interesting discussion. I'm surprised we haven't got as many comments as I thought we'd get, but interesting discussion for sure.
How many viewers we got so far?
Not very good tonight. Currently 6.
That's on X, right?
I'm not even sure.
Where's that all of them?
One's 2 on X and 4 on Facebook.
I wonder if we should do a poll and ask the people to, comment. Like, I know some days, some Sundays, people are just, they're so busy, they're prepping for the upcoming work week, and they're just, who knows?
Yeah. And
I'm just about available any time, just about.
And like we've discussed, this is a it's a work in progress. As most of the people that watch a Golden Broom know, we took a gut punch a little over a year ago. It's been hard to recover from that. But we're still here. We're still grinding. Still trying to put out content.
Trying to recruit some interviews.
But also with that, juggling schedules. Because now Cody's coaching ball, and he's got 3 young children, and just accepted a new position at work. And there's a possibility I might be getting a new position at work. So we're really struggling to find a set time where we can go live and be consistent, but we're trying. Right now, this works for us. I think Cody will be back. I think he said next week he should be available. He was sick last week. His wife is having surgery tomorrow. Keep her in your thoughts and prayers.
Good luck to you, Cheyenne.
Yeah, good luck to you, Cheyenne. Hope everything works out well for you. Cody, I don't know if you're watching. You haven't commented, but if you're watching, pick up that phone and log in. Come join us. But it's what we do. We love the game of baseball. Terry is a new fan of baseball because he found out his team is really good.
Well, I mean, I've been slowly watching. This was back in like 2013 is when I really started kind of getting into it. That's when I was stationed in Korea. And it just so happened that was the year they won, and I just been kind of like following them since. And I'm like, I know they had some real bad seasons and everything, and I know they produced good players. It's just I never seen a team this good in a while, and I'm hoping that this continues going forward when it comes to terms of recruiting and obviously the NIL that's taking over college.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean it's exciting time. I mean, I can't wait. I'm especially excited, not just for, baseball playoffs, but the next coming football season when we actually have a coach that's more proven than that mediocre running back we used to have as a head coach when he played for us at college ball. So we won't talk about him.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it seems like the basketball recruiting's picked up for – not just the men and women's too. So, I mean, who knows?
So let me go ahead and pull up this real quick. We did have an upset in the NCAA tournament today. Number 1 seed. Well, are they number 1? Yeah, number 1 seed Florida. Upset by the Iowa Hawkeyes 73-72.
Oh, man.
So,
I know Dean's happy.
That just blew up my bracket because I had Florida winning it all.
My guy's still in there. I had Houston winning it all.
Purdue beat Miami today 79-69. They move on to the Sweet 16. Tennessee outlast Virginia 79-72. That was a good ball game. Went down to the wire. St. John's pulling the upset on Kansas 67-65.
Iowa State looks scary.
And yeah, that was a game I wanted to really talk about in specifics. Kentucky, in the first 30 seconds of the game, hit 6 threes. Had an 18-6 lead in the first 90 seconds. I mean, they come out the bank hot. But after that, things changed. Iowa State wins the game 82-63. So from the moment that Kentucky had the 18-6 lead, Iowa State outscored them 76-45. So the score really doesn't reflect how lopsided the game was. Yeah, it shows a 20-point win, but it doesn't show just exactly how lopsided that thing was. That was as bad as the St. Louis, Georgia game the other night. The Billikens had a 36-point lead with 8 minutes left in game. That was ugly. Let's see if I can pull up the bracket.
I know. Let's see. They're showing Arizona leading Utah State 73-64 with 1:13 left in the second. UCLA's down by 5 at the half to UConn, which I honestly didn't pick them to make it past the second round, especially the key injury to Tyler Bildeau. And then we have
That's the only two active games going right now, I think.
No, Texas Tech is
Oh,
currently
yeah.
trailing Alabama 20-9 with 11:50. Well, that's probably less, but 11:28 left in the first half. And that's the number 5 seed versus the number 4 seed.
Who had Iowa versus Nebraska to go to the Elite Eight?
I had picked Nebraska, I think, to make it that far, but I think I had them losing. Let me check my bracket. Like I'm actually doing pretty good in the men's division. I kind of butchered it in the women's division. Because in the men's bracket, I guess my win percentage is 94.5%.
Good Lord.
But I'm like ranked 1 million and something.
Right.
I guess they started the second half. So UCLA is down by 1. It's 38-37 against UConn. Which, I mean, even if UConn loses and I picked them to win, I know pretty much everyone else picked UConn to win too. So that's a plus for me because everyone else will be screwed up, and then my team advances further.
So you can see I've pulled up the bracket here. This is the men's bracket. In the Sweet 16, you'll have Duke versus St. John's. Louisville versus Michigan
right now.
Well, Michigan State awaits the winner of UCLA and UConn. Arkansas will face the winner of Arizona and Utah State, which looks at this point like it's probably going to be Arizona up by 10 with a minute left.
Yeah.
You have Texas, the 11 seed, versus Purdue. Texas, who was in the play-in game in the first 4.
It doesn't even sound right to say it, that it seems like Texas is almost like a Cinderella story.
It is. It really is. You got Iowa with the 1-point win over Florida. Today, last night, Nebraska with the 2-point win over Vanderbilt. There was
that final shot you guys took too.
That was brutal. To see it that far into the basket and come back out, that's brutal.
You want to know it was brutal, and my wife actually worried about me on this one. So that year, the UCLA went to the Final Four, and where they faced Gonzaga.
Yes.
Where UCLA had that tying 3. I'm like, oh, great. Let's go to overtime. The guy shot a half court. I'm like, no, come on, really? And I look, it just banked in. Like, I just stood there for like 10 minutes in silence. My wife's like, look, are you okay? Like, I was stunned for literally probably like 20 minutes, like, of what I just witnessed. Because I was very excited for that Bruins basketball team for the men. And for it to end like that, because they were actually the heavy underdog against Gonzaga, but they always seem to have Gonzaga's number in prior years. Well, not recent years, but, further back in the past. And I was like, okay, let's go to overtime and let's, finish the story there, knock out Gonzaga. And nope, they made the half-court shot, and I was just like, that was a kick in the knackers right there.
Right. Over on the other side, you got Tennessee will play Iowa State. And then Michigan will play the winner of Alabama and Texas Tech. Alabama currently leads 26-10.
I don't think that, man. I think Michigan's going to beat either one of those two, if I'm going to be totally honest.
And while we're doing it, let's look at the women as well. Tomorrow you'll have UConn versus Syracuse. The winner will play North Carolina. You also have Notre Dame versus Ohio State and Illinois versus Vanderbilt tomorrow. Both winners will go to the Sweet 16. Minnesota knocks off Ole Miss today, 65-63. They advance to the Sweet 16, where they will play the winner of UCLA and Oklahoma State. Duke and LSU, the 2 and the 3 seeds, have already advanced to the Sweet 16. South Carolina plays Southern Cal tomorrow.
Hey, that's USC versus USC.
The winner will face Oklahoma in the Sweet 16. And then also tomorrow, Iowa plays Virginia. They will play the winner of TCU and Washington. TCU currently leads that game 15-14. And then on the other side, Texas has made their way into the Sweet 16. They will play the winner of Kentucky and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan has already made their ticket to the Sweet 16. They will play the winner of Alabama and Louisville. There's one thing I'm wanting.
What's that?
One thing I need Vanderbilt to win tomorrow. And then for them to win their Sweet 16 game so that they can get UConn in the Elite Eight. I want UConn. I want UConn.
I want you to beat them too, because they beat us last year.
I mean, they're on a 56-game win streak.
Yeah.
If Vanderbilt gets UConn and they whip us, they whip us. I want that opportunity.
Yeah.
And to get to the Elite Eight, remember, the Vanderbilt's a program that in 2020-21 season,
Mm-hmm.
they canceled the season.
For the
because
women's,
they
right?
were, for the women, because they were left with 4 players on the roster. What Shea Ralph has done with that program is absolutely incredible. I want a chance.
They just up and quit, or what's the story with that?
Some of them were injured. Some of them quit because of COVID. You know, that was towards the end of the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
And the coach was just not a very nice person.
Who did you have going to the championship for women's basketball? Like not winning, but just playing in the Natty.
Believe I've got UConn versus UCLA. I believe.
Yeah.
No, I think I got UConn in Texas.
I got
I
South Carolina and UCLA for the Natty. Wait, is that? Yeah. Yeah, I got South Carolina versus UCLA for my bracket. Well, I mean,
I got UConn beating UCLA.
well, I hope UCLA ends that. If they continue winning, I hope they end that streak. Because I've yet to see. I don't think I've witnessed the women win one. Like, I mean, if they did, I didn't know that they did. But yeah, I've seen the men's basketball. The only thing I have not witnessed, as far as UCLA, as far as the 4 major sports, UCLA win it all, is obviously football, because they won. I think it was 1953 is when they won. They came close a couple times, but to making it, of course, they shit the bed.
Oh my. On my women's bracket, I have only missed 4 games.
Really?
Yes.
I butchered that one.
I missed Syracuse over Iowa State. I missed Maryland over Murray State. And I missed Minnesota over Ole Miss. That's all I've missed in the entire women's bracket. I'll take that.
Yeah. I won't even tell you how many I missed.
My good friend Sarah.
Sarah.
good to see the old Miss lady in here. Unfortunately, their women got beat today. But good to see her. Hope all is well with them beautiful girls that she has, and that life is treating her kindly.
If not, let us know.
Exactly.
I got heavy equipment keys.
There you go. So, other than that, I don't have a lot.
No, I mean, I'll just say one thing real quick. I'm hoping this week I've been sending out a lot of emails and responses, not just for, Division 1 or Division 2 coaches. I'm hoping to get some kind of reply from just about anybody, because I think after that first interview, the one we locked in on my first try, now I'm kind of like hooked as far as wanting to bring more guests on the show and hopefully expand out as far as the number of viewers and everything. And I've reached, and I told you before, I reached out to all 3 academy schools.
Mm-hmm.
So because I want to see how NIL affects the academy schools, if it does, or if they're even involved with NIL. Since they're military academy schools, they might not even do that. Who knows? But so hopefully they reply, and we'll see what goes on.
Be interesting to see. Like I said, we're going to experiment with some things. Try and get some coordinated segments on our show. Got some ideas. If you got any ideas, Terry, shoot them in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to get this thing back to where it was.
We're rebuilding. We're in the rebuilding phase, like in the franchise.
We're in the rebuilding phase. A year in recovery from the gut punch that we took. It's been interesting. We're not giving up. We're going to get it back to where it was. So, in the meantime, go visit our sponsor, ChinookCeatery.com. Use the promo code Golden Broom and get 10% off your purchase. But also, if you like to watch baseball and have an adult beverage, check out some Sextros Rye.
Well, look what you just found. This is a 1932 recipe that was voted 50 best ryes, and I'll contend it's the best rye. See, we make this with a 100-year-old recipe that uses no chemistry, no coloring, no additives, just 100% pure, delicious 1932 styling. So pick it up, take it home. All your friends will think you're a damn genius.
If it's not that, it's Emily's pictures getting me thirsty for margaritas.
Yes. Like I said, if you want to have a nice adult beverage while you're watching college baseball, Sextros Rye is it. I give it a try. Go to sextrosrye.com.
Got to pair that with the stogie.
There you go. If we could find a cigar company for a sponsorship, we'd be all for it. So if you're out there and you have cigars,
I'll talk to you later about that after this.
All right, that sounds good. Looking for sponsors. Again, we're going to try different days of the week. Right now, we're trying Sundays to see how that works. Different times. Right now, 8:30 on Sunday night seems like a good time. So it's going to be some trial and error, but we're going to get there and get this back to where it was.
I will say, I hope, because when we had Coach Brooks on the show, it was like complete turmoil because of, scheduling issues and everything. And, I'm so thankful he still showed and was patient with us, but I'm hoping now, if we get something going soon, that we're able to advertise it sooner to hopes to attract a larger viewing audience. So I'll be sure to keep up with that as well. So.
And part of that is me learning how to do graphics. I know how to set up a show and all that good stuff. I'm learning how to do some graphics.
Mhm.
I might cheat a little bit and have them done for me.
Well, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Cody's been our graphic guy for the duration of the show, but if I can help take some of that off of him and we get this going as a team effort, I think we're going to be all right.
Alrighty. Well, I hope everyone has a great week, and if you're in a hot place right now, keep cool.
Yes, definitely. But with that, we're going to close this thing out. Hope you all have a great week. And you'll know next week if Vanderbilt has turned things around a little bit and started winning again, because I'll be in color. I will not change off of black and white until we do. With that, anchor down and have a good week.
On the diamond where they play